All right, in this example, Teresa and Raul have purchased a house 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they purchased a house for $20,000. And they made a down payment of 20% toward the purchase of the house. And then they secured a 30-year conventional home mortgage at 6% per year compounded monthly. Okay. And the house is now worth $380,000. Okay. So this is a little bit different question here. How much equity do Teresa and Raul have in their house after making 120 payments? Okay, so that's 10 years, 12 months a year. So 120 payments they've made, 120 payments. They still have 20 years on their mortgage. So they've got some of their house paid off, but not all of it. And and now their house is worth $380,000. So essentially, how much equity they have in their house is, if they were to sell it now at $380,000 and just pay off the loan, right? They're just going to pay off the loan. Well, first of all, you have to know how much it would cost to pay it off, the remainder of their loan. But the difference between that and the value of the house is the amount of equity they have in the house. Okay, so let's just break this down one step at a time. First thing we need to do is figure out what their monthly payments are. Okay, because they bought this 10 years ago, and they put a down payment on there, and so there's a lot of stuff going on. So first of all, so they bought the house for $200,000, but they didn't take out a loan for $200,000 because they made a down payment of 20%. So let's figure out what their down payment is first of all. So down payment. Their down payment is just 20%, so 0.2 times $200,000. Okay, so when I multiply that out, I get $40,000. So their down payment was $40,000. So we can use that to figure out how much they took a loan out for. The loan amount, then, if the house cost $200,000, right, and they paid the $40,000, $40,000 up front, right, then that means that they had to take out a loan for the remaining $160 or $160,000. $160,000. Okay, so that's their loan amount. Okay, so the equity, maybe I just write this down. The equity is the current value of the home minus the present value of the amount that's still owed. So we need to find the amount still owed. But first of all, let's figure out what their monthly payment is. So let's see. So we're first going to figure out their monthly payment. All right. So they took out a loan for $160,000. So that's the present value at the beginning of the loan was $160,000. The interest rate was 6%. The number of compounding periods per year is 12 because it's monthly. It's compounded monthly, and T is 30 years. Okay, so we have to figure out what their monthly payment is. So we're just going to use the formula for monthly payment. 160,000 times 0.06 divided by 12 all over 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 to the minus 30 times 12, right? So 360 payments. 360 payments is what they're going to make over the term of the loan. Okay, put that into my calculator, and I got $959.28. That's their monthly payment. Now, the reason I need to know that is because I need to know what's the present value of the remaining payments. Okay, they've already paid for 10 years, so they still have 20 years worth of payments to make. So I need to know, well, if they were going to pay it off right now, how much it would take to pay it off, right? Because, like I said before, the equity is the difference between the current value of the home and the present value of the amount still owed. All right, so we know the current value of their home. We're told that it's $380,000, and we need to find the present value of the remaining payments. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is figure out the present value of the remaining payments. All right, so we still got 20 years to pay off the loan, right? So we've got 20 years worth of payments yet to make. The monthly payment is what we just calculated. It's that $959.28. Okay, we still have the same interest rate. It's 0.06, and it's compounded monthly. And now our T is 20 years because we have 20 years remaining. So we want to know what's the present value of those remaining payments. So I'm going to use the present value formula, right? Given the monthly payment of $959.28. Okay, and I'm just going to put the numbers in the formula. 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 over 12 to the minus 240 this time, 20 times 12, because there's only 20 years left on the loan. Okay, so to pay it off, we only had to pay the remaining 20 years worth of debt. Okay, so, and we're going to divide that by the I, which is 0.06 divided by 12. All right, let's see. I put that into my calculator, and what I get is that if they wanted to pay off their loan right now, the present value of the remaining monthly payments are $133,897.04. Okay, so this is how much it's the present value of the remaining payments. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because they've been paying for 10 years. They took out $160,000 in a loan, and they still have $133,000, over almost $134,000 left to pay. But all right, we're going to figure out the equity. So the equity is just the difference, right? Equity is just going to be, if they sold their home right now, they could theoretically get about $380,000 for it. All right. But if they got the $380,000, they'd have to pay off the rest of the loan, right? So if they were moving or something like that, and they sold their house, so they would have to pay off the debt on their current house, and then they could use the remaining equity to buy a new house. So we had to subtract the amount that they would have to pay off. So $133,897.04. The difference there is $246,000, $246,102.96. So that's how much equity they have in their home. Okay, so that would tell you that, okay, if they sold their house right now and they were able to get $380,000 for it, they would have to pay $133,897 to pay off the debt, and what they would have left would be $246,102.96 left over, so they could use that toward their new house. So, all right. That takes care of the examples in this lecture, and I will meet you in class to work on the discussion questions.